Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. So we are discussing the concept of karma yoga. It's always a challenge when you want to make your action fruitful not from the point of view of any objective gain like a business and profit, not from that point of view. But when we perform an action, whichever karma we do, there are natural, spontaneous, organic results are there of that karma. And this karma and this result, if a person is not conscious, if a person is not aware about what happens to him while doing karma, then the natural result is attachment to the action. That's what Sri Krishna was telling earlier. Whichever action you do, there is a result of action. And the result is either you are happy with that or you gain happiness because of attachment, or you get misery because of the negative attachment. Let us understand a little about it. I want this. If I get this, I am happy. I want this, but if I do not get, I am miserable. Again, I do not want this, but if I get, I am miserable. I do not want this, and if I do not get, I am happy. Nobody is attached with karma itself. We get attached to the happiness which we get out of karma. You will never get attached to the things where you are miserable. You want to be free from that. But as soon as you get happiness, you want to repeat it. You want to do it again. You want to have that happiness again and again. And that's what our general tendency is there. Wherever we are happy, we do it again. Wherever we do not get happiness, we do not do it or try to avoid it. But situation compels us to be with those people, places or objects. Even if we do not want, we have to be with them. That continuously create misery, pain, dukkha. So the tendency of every human being, we don't talk about animals and other things, though it is similar, but let us talk about us only, because Bhagavad Gita is not read by animals except human being. But animals also behave the same way. That's why human being also is one kind of animal. So far as body and bodily tendencies are concerned, there is hardly any difference between other animals and we. So far as instincts are concerned, practically there is no difference. There is something X factor which is completely absent in other than human being. Is the concept of morality. To be happy and to avoid misery is common. Whether it is a dog or a cat or a human being, they also want to be happy, we also want to be happy. They also don't want to be miserable, we also don't want to be miserable. But we have something extra. That is the sense of morality. In the same line of morality, then spirituality comes. And secondly, in execution of karma, we have intellect. We also are governed by instinct, as the animals are governed by instinct. They are hungry, they eat. We are hungry, we also eat. They are afraid of few things, we are also afraid of few things. They are happy with all that is enjoyment of the senses, we are also happy with that. But we have intellect. And the more developed human being you are, your intellect has to control your instinct. If your instincts are not under your control, if your instincts are not under the control of your intellect, then you will behave like those animals with the same instinct. Without reading or understanding philosophy, if a person puts his whole existence, whole mind in eating, forgetting where you are, forgetting who you are, forgetting what you are eating, then our example is of the animals. He is eating like a pig. Because the happiness in eating, as the pig can eat with that gusto, human being can never eat. When we are hungry also, you are very hungry, the thing which is given to you is really of your choice. Still you cannot put your whole being in eating as the pig puts. Because always whenever we do any action with our senses, our intellect always will guide it and control it. For example, it is easy to say, when animals are hungry they eat, when human being is hungry they also eat. For example, you are whole day so busy, you have no time to sit down and eat your dinner. You are free only at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the night. Your intellect will come and say, 1 o'clock is not the time for dinner. Take a little cup of milk, take one biscuit or something, take and sleep. Don't try to take the whole dinner because the time has gone. If it falls in the cycle, maybe animals will avoid. Otherwise, animal will eat whenever and wherever they are. Now, if I am hungry, I will see when I get a chance to eat. Not that I must eat here. But if his dog is hungry, dog doesn't have that sense of place and time. That's how our intellect controls our instinct. Human being is a human being till his or her instincts are controlled by the intellect. Controlled in the sense of place, controlled in the sense of time, and controlled in the sense of cause and effect. Other than human being, rest all the animal kingdom. In our scriptures, they are considered as bhoga bhumi. Those species are to undergo the karma, good or bad, which they would have done in their previous life. Human birth is called karma bhumi. Human being is the only animal who creates karma. Why? They also do karma, they must be creating karma. Their animal always is a reactive karma. They are hungry, they will kill someone and eat. But if they are not hungry, they don't kill. It is in their instinct. Human being can harm others without getting any benefit. There is a beautiful book you must read. It is called Niti Shataka by Bhartrihari. 100 slokas on moral values. Bhartrihari was a king, also became the 10th yogi of Nath Sampradaya. Gorakhnath, Machandranath, in the same line, Bhartrihari is there. But he was a king. So he wrote, when he was a king, how to enjoy the world in terms of eating, in terms of all kind of sensual happiness. He wrote 100 slokas called Sringar Shatakam. Look at one person, how in his life he travels from extreme enjoyment to extreme renunciation. So he wrote 100 slokas on Sringara Shatakam. 100 slokas on how to enjoy the world. Then he became the king, he has to rule the king. When you become responsible, you do not do anything and everything as it comes to your mind. So when he became king, he found that morality is required. So the personal and the public, what are the moral values to be practiced? He wrote 100 slokas on moral values called Niti Shatakam. And then with the grace of his guru and his renunciation and experience in the world, extreme vairagya, renunciation, he wrote 100 slokas on Vairagya Shatakam. This Vairagya Shatakam and Niti Shatakam are really worth reading. Sringar Shatakam also is his own kriti, his own creation. It is meant for enjoyment. So, Sringar Shatakam, Vairagya Shatakam and Niti Shatakam, there are several slokas out of 200 which are extremely practical. In one of the slokas he says, good people don't harm others. One category of people harm others to fulfill their own desires. Then he says, there is one group of people, I don't know what name should be given to those people. He writes, Ye nignanti nirarthakam parahitam teke na janimaya. I do not know what's the name of those people who harm others without any purpose. Their nature is to harm. I just gave a blow to someone. Why? No, it's my nature. What kind of nature is there which keeps on harming others? So, human species is called karma bhumi. Just a simple understanding of what is karma and what is not karma, extremely difficult to classify, but in general. Where whatever you do, in that you have a sense of doing, that I am the doer, I am doing this. For example, who made this sound? I made. I am aware about it. So this is my karma. Now the purpose of this karma was to disturb you. That's a negative karma. But if somebody is sleeping and to wake up I do, is the same way of making sound, but it is not negative karma. So it is extremely difficult to see same karma could be negative or positive. where your doership is involved, where you are conscious of your doing, that I am the doer, that karma will have a result on you, positive or negative. There are many karmas which you do, but you are not aware of your doing. For example, you are fast asleep and you found something. So if you have a camera in the night on you, even if you are sleeping, you will be sketching your hand, you will be doing something like this, which you are not aware about, but you do it. More practical, easily understandable, you take lunch and dinner. Who digests for you? You only digest, but we don't have a sense of digestion. You do not feel that I am digesting it. Oh, I took dinner, now I am a little busy in digesting my food, I cannot talk. No. Digestion takes place by you only. Because the sense of agencyship is not there. You never feel guilty that I could not digest the food. You feel guilty that I took wrong food. This is what Krishna says in 15th chapter. Aham Vaishvanaro bhutva praninam deham asrita. Pranapana samayuktam pachamyannam chaturvidam. Different types of food. Who digest in your body? I digest. Bhagavad says, Krishna says. How God comes into your body and digests? No. God doesn't need to enter. He has put a software. You eat food, there is a process by which the food will be digested. And that fire, which you call it, different kind of secretion of acids, which digest your food. In olden time, they compare it with fire. So hunger is a fire. So in your stomach, when you are hungry, it's a fire. So you extinguish the fire by putting the food inside. So the Lord says, I am that fire. Who does the digestion of food? So you are doing karma. You digest your food. We don't digest each other's food. Even if we are in the same room, you have to digest your food, I have to digest my food. But in digestion of the food, we don't have the agentship. We do not feel that I am busy in digesting my food. So digestion is not your karma. Taking wrong food and spoiling your stomach could be your karma, but digestion is not your karma. So the action where your agentship is there. What is the agentship? Not only conscious of doing karma, but the purpose of that karma is decided by you. I do this because I want to do this. I want to have this result. That karma is your karma, and that has consequences. So, we do karma. What is karma? Your senses, 5 senses, eyes and ears and nose and skin and tongue. Through this, you perceive the world, and then you have 5 senses of action, hands and feet and speech and all that. So with 5 senses of knowledge, you perceive the world. With 5 senses of action, you reply to your perception. Action is what? I saw an object. What is reaction to it? I want it or I hate it. Your life will be balanced. Minimum attachment and minimum aversion is there in your life. When people say, I cannot meditate, I cannot concentrate, simple reason that the amount of attachment and aversion is increased in your life. Attachment means what? The object is not with me, but my mind still haunts. Aversion, hatred, Hatred to an object, hatred to a person, hatred to a concept, even if it was in past in your life, even the remembrance of that creates a reaction. A story could be true also. How memory works. A monk was meditating in Himalayas. But monk is a monk. He also passed his childhood. So once upon a time in his life, when he was traveling from one place to another place, he was very hungry and there is no food. He found there are some field nearby and vegetables are there. So he pulled one vegetable like carrot or radish or cucumber or whatever. And he saw there is nobody around to take permission. So he pulled one and was eating it. In the meantime, the owner came. Obviously, the owner objected. How without permission this is stealing? So he not only scolded, but he beaten up the monk. This is a story. He tried to plead that I waited even to ask permission. Since I couldn't get, so I have taken. And it's my mistake, sorry, etc., etc. This incident would have happened 10, 12, 15 years before. After 12, 15 years, he is meditating and this memory comes into his mind. And he had that anger at that time that this gentleman came and scolded me and beat me up. So while sitting in meditation like this, suddenly his hand became like this. Then he became conscious. I am meditating, but I am in a fighting mudra. So the memory have reaction on you. This is whenever we do karma, not that at that time we suffer, where there was a strong agentship in your karma. The more conscious you were about the purpose and agentship in doing that karma, that much is the deep impression in your mind, so much so that in Eastern religions we believe these strong tendencies are even continuous in your next life. People may say, these are the old concepts. Now people don't even bother to think about it. In the same family, if there are 2 children or 3 children, you will find the tendencies are very different. Somebody doesn't like tea, somebody doesn't like particular vegetables. That is from childhood. Nobody taught them that you should take or not take. There is a particular dislike from birth and nobody cares. It's okay. What is the explanation of that? That children in the same family, of the same parents, how they can have different tendencies? We believe it is because of your past life or present life experiences, whatever. So what about that strong liking, disliking? These are translated into our tendencies. And when the tendencies are nurtured by repetitive actions, they become so strong that it remains with you births after births. That's why you will find, without coming into contact, the problem with the modern world is giving a title for giving a word for it is not explanation. A 3-year-old child plays piano like a professional, and you gave one word prodigy and forgot the whole chapter. But how he knows? Nobody in the family has ever touched piano, how this child can do that? Earlier there was a concept called hereditary transmission. Genes come from the parents also never knew music. Swami Vivekananda gives example and says, Jesus Christ was so great. Do you think his parents were so great? We have so many temples in Ramakrishna Mission. Whose temple? Sri Ramakrishna's temple. Why not Khudiram and Chandradevi's temple? His parents' temple? No. It is not hereditary transmission. That whatever qualities a child has is the qualities of their parents. No. That's why many times while talking we say this one only. That your child is your child, definitely. But mind well, you have given the body. The soul which comes has come in this world to exhaust his prarabdha and to fulfill his desires. That's why you will find he is totally different in many ways from the parents. For some reason, some connection is there, some commonality is there, so you are together in one family. When that is over, they are all separated in one way or other. So here, your senses come in contact with the sense objects. Tongue comes in contact with food. Eyes come in contact with good or bad things to see. Your ears are hearing good or bad words, language, music, whatever. So when senses come in contact with sense object, then the pleasure or pain is created. Some music you hear, wow, so nice. Why do you say so nice? Other person doesn't say so. Because that experience of that music somehow corresponds with your samskaras or your impression or your liking, disliking. So you appreciate. Other people may not like it. So it creates either pleasure or pain. Again repeating. Senses come in contact with sense objects, creates pleasure and pain. If it is pleasure, you want to repeat it. If it is pain, you want to avoid it. It's a general behavior. Sometimes the pleasure is so much that you encroach. Simple example, you can interpret in whichever way you like. It happens with the children. Why we are giving example of children? Because the object is simplest, where children get tempted. The adults have different temptations. You keep a plate full of chocolate and tell the children, there is nobody to supervise, there is no camera put here, all of you while going out, please take one chocolate. 50% of children will take 2 or 3. It is temptation. Because pleasure prompts you to do it more. Pain prompts you to reduce it. So Krishna develops this subject from this point of view and says, when for the sake of pleasure, when you encroach, what is encroaching? You take the share of others. You harm others to have that pleasure. And that creates problem. Why it is so? When you go out of the way, that's why it said no. Even if you are happy, remember that you have to be in that limit. You cannot cross the limit. Because that is how the world moves. If you cross the limit, it will have its own consequences. But why do we do it? That was the Arjuna's next question. But why it is so? I know all this. Who doesn't know? We know it. But still we do it. I know I have to take only one chocolate. I know I was instructed. There is something inside me which prompts me to take 2 or 3 chocolates. What is that? Not that I do not know. People who break the laws, do you think they don't know? They know. Then Krishna says, the question of Arjuna is very, very interesting, which is very common to all of us. Atha kena prayuktoyam papam charati purusha. Prompted by which a person commit mistake, blunder, sin. Anichannapi, knowingly doesn't want to break the law, but still breaks. Baladiva niyojita, as if he is forced by someone else. You know, in Western world it is said, oh, what do you call it? What is the word they use? The Satan overpowered me. What is that Satan? Desire. He was totally controlled by the Satan. And they developed different concepts from a religious point of view. There is a famous shloka in Mahabharata. Duryodhana was not a bad person. He was a good student, good scholar, more capable than even Bhima. Karna was more capable than Arjuna. Kauravas lost the game not because they were weak. Krishna also says, you five of you cannot defeat them. That's why if you hold the whole story of Mahabharata, if you remember, everywhere it was Krishna. It was Krishna's some trick. Otherwise, Pandavas would not have won the war. Whether it was killing of Dronacharya, killing of Karna, killing of Duryodhana, anybody you tell. And the moral question also came. Who is asking? The same Pandavas are asking to Krishna. You cannot tell me to break the law. Krishna says, okay, then get defeated. He said, I'm not telling you to break the law. You are breaking law for whom? Those who have broken the law several times. So it's the logic that you break the law, so I also have to break the law. Not from that point of view. I give a simple example. Singapore is a small place. You don't have a chance to drive so fast. They can run away car like that. But in bigger countries you have. So somebody, speed limit is say 80 miles per hour. That fellow goes 120, which is breaking the law. To catch him, the police has to drive their car in a higher speed than that person. So in a way he also breaks the law. The police said, no, I will go only 90. But that fellow is going 120. No, I can't break the law. So his officer said, are you lost or what? He has broken the law. Go faster than him. Breaking the law for the purpose of dharma is different than breaking the law to fulfill your own desire. What is the law? Law is something which is formed to govern the society, to run the society in a smoother way. So nobody breaks the law. But if somebody breaks the law, there are a group of people who are officially allowed to break the law. Correct? If somebody drives the car uncontrollably and police has to catch him, police has to drive faster than them. Otherwise you cannot catch them. So Krishna comes in every field. Famous stories are there, we don't need to discuss here. Impossible to kill Bhishma. Impossible to kill Drona. Impossible to kill Duryodhana. Impossible to kill Karna. Not possible. They are not capable of doing that. If Arjuna had a Brahmastra, Karna also had a Brahmastra. So what Krishna did? Brahmastra you can use only once. So before he uses Brahmastra for Arjuna, tempt him to use Brahmastra for something different. So when Ghatotkacha came, he used Brahmastra. Second time he cannot use. So he became weaker to Arjuna. So Duryodhana was great. He was not a fool. And Krishna in that way, he took the side of Pandavas because Pandava wanted him and Duryodhana wanted his army. So Krishna says, yes, I will be with Pandavas, whomsoever want, but I will not take any weapon in my hand. No point of taking me. So Duryodhana thought foolishly, what's the point of taking Krishna if he doesn't fight? Rather, I take the whole army. They will fight for me. But he forgot that Krishna is the person without whom none of them can fight. So Duryodhana's shloka is there in Mahabharata, which is very famous. Most of you will know it. Janami dharmam nachame pravritti. I know what is dharma. I know I should not have done this Lakshagriha and giving poison to Bhima and humiliating, insulting Draupadi. I know I should not have done it. Janami dharmam nachame pravritti. Janami adharmam. What is adharma? I know. Nachame nivritti. I am not somehow able to control myself from doing adharma. Then he says, when we cannot do anything, then as we say, the Satan took over me, or maybe why God wants me to do that. God doesn't want you to do that. In the second line he says, Kenapi devena ridisthitena. Some God is sitting in my heart. As he guides, I am doing. So this is the question of Arjuna. Prompted by whom a person knowingly commit a mistake. Anichchanyapi varsneya baladiva niyojita. Forcefully, as if forcefully he is told to do it. Something within, what it is. Krishna says, Kama esha, Krodha esha. The strong desire and anger prompts you to do this uncontrollably. And this is created by what? Rajoguna samudbhava. Rajas is good. Because of Rajas you have karma. Sattva is a balance of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Tamoguna is inertia. You will find sometimes in children, adults, don't want to do anything. No wish to do anything. Go work somewhere, earn some money. No. But without that you have to live a life of a beggar. Okay. This is called inertia. Nothing makes them being active. Other side, so many desires. Keep on working. The more you work, you satisfy your desire, and desire is something. Modern day example, I give example of tissue box. You take one tissue out, another tissue is already out. Take that out, the third one is out. Till the whole box is finished. In the same way, one desire you fulfill, 10 more desires will come. That's why during Durga Puja we took this subject. You know, Divine Mother Durga killed 9 demons, 9 asuras. Shumbha Nishumbha, Mahishasura, Dhumralochana, Raktabija, Chandamunda and Madhukaitava. So 3 into 2 plus 3, 9 of them. Raktabija speciality, you know. You kill him, every drop that falls on the ground, one more Raktabija will be born. Raktabija stands for desires. One desire you fulfill, 10 more desires will come. End of. There is no end of desires. Nobody in this world can say, my all desires are fulfilled. Desires cannot be fulfilled. You fulfill the desire, some more desires are waiting for you to be fulfilled. What happens? In pursuit of fulfilling desires, suffering comes. Pleasure and pain is the obverse and reverse of the same coin. Simple example. You like to eat sweet. You take sweet. So, statement is this: if I can eat sweet, I am happy. This statement, how far it is true? It is true. Nice sweet, I eat, I am so happy. But we forget, first piece of that sweet, you are happy. You give me one sweet to eat. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, take another one. I am very happy. I took the another one. Now take the third one. Then slowly, no, you give me, I will keep, I will eat in the evening or I will eat tomorrow. We want to extend our happiness. No, you take now. Okay, forcefully you told, I took. Then you gave me the fourth one. So I stopped you. You forced me, I ate. Then you gave me the fifth one. The first sweet create spontaneous happiness, and the fifth piece of the same sweet created anger in your mind, repulsion from you. That means happiness was where? If happiness was in the sweet, even the fifth or sixth or 10th piece also should create happiness in my mind. But it doesn't happen. We forget one truth which you can apply anywhere you want. For any sense, not only testing. For example, light. Oh, beautiful light. As soon as this power increases, brightness increases, I cannot even look at it. If the brightness is reduced, it doesn't look like a light. Remember, there is a particular frequency in between we are happy, less than that we are not happy, more than that we are not happy. No sweet at all, we are not happy. More than certain sweet, also we are not happy. And today we got some prasad from somewhere, I think Guruvayur temple or something. Sweet means what? Sugar is nothing in front of that sweet, so sweet. So I had taken half spoon with all, because it is prasad, I didn't throw it. Terribly sweet. Why you don't like it? Because it is beyond my frequency. More than this much sweet I don't appreciate. Less than this sweet also I don't appreciate. Light. Less than this brightness I don't appreciate. More than this I don't appreciate. Sound. Less than this I can't appreciate. More than this I cannot appreciate. We have a frequency and limit. Less or more than that limit you don't enjoy. Pleasure and pain, both is the same. Both are the same. The difference between pleasure and pain, probably, the difference is not in type. Difference is in degree. Sweetness creates pleasure. More than certain sweetness doesn't create pleasure. The sweets which we take, generally Indians we take, give the same sweet to any Chinese. They don't like. Why? It is too sweet for them because they are not habituated. Sometimes they say, oh, this is a Chinese sweet. And what is sweet about it? There is nothing, no sweetness at all. Because it is lesser than my expectation. Our sweet is more than their expectation. Pleasure and pain, so far as it comes within my frequency, within my upper and lower limits, I am happy. Same thing with every field of our life. We can't take if it is more than that, we cannot enjoy if it is less than that. So, Arjuna asked this question, knowingly why we do it, knowing that it is harmful to me. Sri Krishna, yeah. That's how human being is challenged. Kamaesha, Krodesha, Rajoguna Samudbhava. When your desire increases so much that to fulfill that, there is another place it is told. You forget, we discussed when we were discussing Sthitapragya Lakshana of the second chapter. There it comes. Your memory goes away. What is memory? You don't lose your memory, not from that point of view. You forget. You do not remember the teachings. You have read in scriptures. Your guru has told many things. Your elders have told many things. Your parents have told many things. All advices you forget because of the strong desires. So this, if we are conscious of, the spiritual progress is always hampered by these two. Our strong desire, which doesn't allow us to progress, it holds us back. What is this? Strong desires and anger. Again, desire and anger is the same. The flow, what is desire? Desire is a strong emotion. Emotion of having something. When there is an obstruction to it, then anger, same force desire, just like a flowing river, when you construct a dam over the river, what happens? The water level goes up. In the same way, when the flow of desire is obstructed, that same flow, same force, level goes up in terms of emotion, and that is reflected as anger. Sri Krishna gives few adjectives till Mahashano, unquenchable. Nobody in this world, from the history to the future, is ever satisfied with any desire. It is not there in the system. I remember simple incidents, which I remember, simple incident. So people many times in friendship they say, oh, you passed the exam, then where is the sweet? These are simple expressions, nothing sinful about it. But the same simple question one gentleman asked to one Swami. The Swami, some big work was done, temple is constructed or something. Maharaj, where is prasad? Give us sweet. The Swami says, sweet I will give, that's a different thing. What's your age? 50. Last 50 years you are eating sweet, no vairagya till now. This is in every field this is our condition. Desire is something, desires can go only by one. That's called vichara or discrimination. Because desires are fulfilled by whom? Fulfilled by the body, fulfilled by the senses. And that Krishna says, Mahashano, unquenchable. I know I have diabetes, but still I can't control my desire of eating sweets. Then I suffer. Still I eat. So Arjuna says, what is that? I know I'm not a mad person, I'm intelligent, educated. I know I should not take sweets. Why do I take sweet? Anichanyabe varsneya. I know I should not take. Something from me inside comes and jumps over the sweets and eats, then suffers. Krishna says the strong desire, you never used your discrimination. Many times people say, oh, Swamiji, diabetic people like to eat more sweets. So I say, yeah. So you take, I remember one very famous and senior psychiatrist told me, so the mind is to be treated sometimes like a child. Earlier we used to say to abstain from. This abstinence word we have removed from our usage nowadays. Because it is not possible for you to abstain. You cannot abstain from something. So now is managing. You don't tell, I don't take sweets. Because your mind will say, you see, months after month, no sweet, you know. So mind, as soon as get chances, will take sweet. So they say, no, don't tell, I don't take sweets. The new way is to manage your desire. Earlier I used to take a big piece, now I take a small piece. Earlier I would take one full bowl of ice cream, now I take 1 scoop of ice cream. Earlier I used to take a full scoop of ice cream, now I take 1 teaspoon of ice cream. So your mind is said, well, yes, I have taken ice cream, I can't say that I have not taken. But keep a limit to it. So to manage is the new word. So Krishna says very specifically, Mahashano, unquenchable desire cannot be fulfilled. You cannot be free from desire by enjoying the desire. This is the game plan. Mahapapma. It will make you to commit sin. It will make you to commit mistakes. Vidhi enamiha vairinam. Consider these two as your enemies. Which one? Desire and anger. So what you do? You manage. You cannot abstain from sweets. So take little. I know one person has diabetes. I took payasam, one full bowl of payasam, drinking like this. So I say, you should not take your diabetes. So what you do? And say, okay, from tomorrow no payasam. I said, no, this will not work. You say, make the size of the bowl smaller. So that the mind will say, yes, I am taking payasam. But it won't be that harmful as the whole full big bowl of half a liter of payasam. So to manage this is a practice. Spiritual practice is a long battle, and battle with whom? Battle with your own self. If you are conscious of that, then spiritual life becomes active, dynamic spiritual life. Spiritual life is not static. I pray to God and I keep quiet. No, every step you are supposed to be conscious. Today we had a yoga, so this reference came. Every step in your life you have a choice to make. I should do or I should not do. Today is only the 5th of January, so I congratulated them and said, at least New Year, first resolution you made that you want to do yoga. So they all came to, they registered themselves for yoga. In our life, continuously it comes. Every step it will come. Should I do or not do? Choice is yours. We falter because we cannot control that flow of desire in us. That's why we falter. So when it comes, especially when that urge comes, you need to take a moment to discriminate whether it is harmful to me, pleasurable. But whether the pleasurable, the result is pain or not. If it is pain, you avoid that. You can't take one side of the coin and not take the other side of the coin. So if you go more than what you are supposed to, the other side of the coin comes with it. That is pain. Pleasure and pain is the same, two sides of the same coin. So, Karma Yoga is something practical which is common to everyone, irrespective of religion, irrespective of where you are. Even if you are not in spiritual life, also this is important. Because we need to live in the society. We have to live a sane life for ourselves. Even if you are alone, staying alone, still you need to practice this because the struggle is with yourself. We shall take it next time. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.